The views and opinions on this show do not necessarily reflect the views of ESPN Tucson 1490 AM, 94.9 HD Channel 4, or the Arizona Lotus Corporation.
Spears and Ali, weekday morning 7 to 9 on 1490 AM, 94.9 HD4 ESPN Tucson.
Not in time. They pulled off the shot. We're going to overtime. And Mr. Backer, you're quite prophetic.
We got a special one to begin hour number 2, Ali.
We do. And excited for what he's doing with the U of A men's basketball program, and excited for the team we have this year.
We have Arizona men's basketball head coach Tommy Lloyd joining the show. Tommy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Good. We got off to a better start than last time. You didn't come in with crushing Final Four intro of us, Gonzaga, when I was at Gonzaga losing the national championship. So that's a start. And listen, Right Way and Paul Volpe are two of my favorite people. I was actually out at the Right Way shop yard yesterday. It was their 65th birthday, and spent a bunch of time with Rick, their owner, and just a real first-class guy. So thank you for a much better lead-in today.
Heck yeah.
I definitely owe you an apology personally for that, Tommy. I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah.
No. Listen. Hey, I can handle it. You know what I mean? There's no shame in losing the national championship game. And, I'd love to get back there and get on the other side of that game in the near future.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely. And before we get started on talking about the U of A men's basketball program, I want to get something out of the way. Every time I'm in a room with Tommy with other people and he's giving some insight to the U of A basketball team, he always says, be careful what you say. We have media in the room, and points at me. Justin, will you once and for all explain to Tommy that I am the furthest thing from media?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Tommy, Ollie called me Rupert the reporter. Like, he gives me guff for being a reporter. He is not media by any means. He's more like Shaquille O'Neal on Inside the NBA. Okay. He's more of a personality, but he's not a reporter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Ollie, what about, I guess your personality, you're not media, but I'm definitely going to be guarded every time I'm around.
Fair enough. Tommy, so, you guys just started practice. You got it's every season is a new journey, its own story. You got guys from the transfer portal, a couple of really great freshmen, guys returning. What's your first impressions of our team this year?
Well, I mean, my first impressions are I love the group, and I love what I think we're going to be capable to do. Second impressions are, we practiced a few days, and obviously we got some talent, and we were able to work out in the summer and in the fall a little bit. So we got some stuff installed. But I know this: if you don't block out, you're not going to win basketball games. And it's so funny is, you mentioned earlier, every team starts its own journey. You kind of have to start from scratch, and we scrimmaged it a little bit yesterday. And, of course, it's a little rough around the edges. It was day 2, but, just some guys missed blockouts and attention to detail, things like that. So it's always a good reboot for the coaches to kind of understand that, the basics win. And we've got to be a dominant team in the effort areas. And that's something we've always done, and we're going to double down on again this year.
Well, speaking of scrimmages, you guys have 2 Red-Blue games this year. You have one down here at McHale Center, another one up in Phoenix. What are the benefits of having an extra Red-Blue game, and what are you looking forward to most with those? Well,
first off, our one is coming up here shortly in Tucson on October 4th, and the Red-Blue event's been a really important thing for the Arizona basketball program. It's a way to share Arizona basketball with our passionate fan base, and to share them with Tucson, to share them with our student body and everybody that's involved at the university. It's also been a great recruiting tool for us. We're able to get a lot of high level recruits in town, for that weekend, and really to show them that Arizona basketball is different, and it means something different here. So it's important that the people of Tucson, participate. They come and they show out and understand that, it makes an impact, not only on that weekend on our current team, but on our future teams as well, because it's not many programs in the country can say, we can get 14,500 people for a scrimmage on a Friday night to open the season. So make sure October 4th, there still are some tickets available. Get them. Get in the building. It's going to be an awesome night. And then, Ollie, we make sure we'll talk about the after party later, because I know you'll be front and center at the after party.
Absolutely. And actually, I want to talk about it now because, Tommy, with all sincerity, since the day you stepped on campus, you've done a great job kind of not secluding yourself. You've connected with the community. You're out there, and you allowed the fans to get to know you and really, just you've been genuinely authentic when it comes to engaging with the community. The things like the after party, you're bringing in former players. We got Mix Master Mike, I think from the Beastie Boys, is going to be there. The coaches are going to be there. So tell me about having an events like that where the public can come in, buy a ticket, come to the after party, and get to talk to Tommy Lloyd, former U of A greats, and just have a great time.
Well, you're right. It is important because, a driving force for me is the community. And I love living in Tucson, and my family and I really appreciate this community for for welcoming us with open arms. And we've embraced everything that is Tucson. I'm a Sonoran dog aficionado.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
My
like
guy.
that. So yeah, we're doing it. So, it's important for me that I know we're in the entertainment business, and, I want to provide, unique opportunities for our fans to engage, with our players, with our coaches, and for celebrity. Celebrity wants to be around a program. This is what I know. Every corner you go in the country, you say Arizona basketball, people connect with it. They know what it means. And I notice that when I'm out on the road all the time, and, I'm always amazed. And, you could be walking through an airport in Boston, and someone's telling you to bear down and coming up and telling me how much they appreciate Arizona basketball and what it means to them. So I know it's my duty to be, in front of that and lead the program and make sure that we're doing everything we can to make people's connection and experience with Arizona basketball great. So after the Red Blue game, at Gentle Ben's, you go to ArizonaPostMove.com, and, our friends that do Dusk, the music festival, is such a big deal. They've just been great partners with us, and with Paige Rep, and his crew, kind of leading the charge, and they know I'm a diehard Beastie Boys fan. I mean, and they're my number ones from day one. So the Beastie Boys aren't playing anymore, unfortunately, since MCA passed. So they told me they got a surprise for me, and they're bringing DJ Mixmaster Mike, and Mixmaster Mike is also going to be doing the DJ at the Red Blue game. So I think it's gonna be cool. And they're bringing, Z Trip. It's another big DJ. So if you're into old school hip hop, like Ali, I know Ali might not look like he's into old school hip hop, but he's really into old school hip hop, believe it or not. So you're going to have a great time. And so go on there, get your tickets. It's going to be, on University Avenue. It's going to be crazy, top floor of Gentle Ben's. And, I don't know if I'm looking forward more to the game or to the after party. So I'm excited.
And you guys should know that he's Mike D and he gets respect. Your cash and your jewelry is all he expects. But he probably won't be asking for that at the after party. So don't worry, your cash and jewelry are safe.
I'm a big jewelry guy, as you can see. I mean, I like the bling.
One more question about the community before we get into the team itself. I mean, you mentioned Paige Rep. You got guys like Paul Volpe. I mean, these guys are like invested in the program. I think sometimes they're on staff with you. How important is it to have guys like that support the program with like NIL efforts and just making sure that you've got all the resources you need to put out the best team on the court?
Well, it's extremely important. I mean, obviously there's a lot of changes happening in college athletics, and I'm sure you guys talk about them ad nauseum. Here's the deal. We're not scared of those changes, and we're going to be on the cutting edge and on the front end of that, but we can't do it alone. We need partners in the community to do that, whether it's corporate partners, okay, or individual families or individual people. And the one thing I know is, people are passionate about Arizona basketball, and they've been passionate about Arizona basketball, long before I got here. So it's my job, to steward that passion and make sure that people have ways to connect with our program and support our program. And we have amazing people do that. For example, Monday evening, I went and I was the guest speaker at the Fiji House. No cameras allowed. Okay, but a Fiji alum and a guy who's been helping us out with a bunch of things behind the scene, Darren Webb, drove down from Phoenix and kind of spearheaded that. And I'm telling you, it was awesome. The energy in that room is something that we got to capture, and we got to continue to make our game day experiences are great. We got to make them even better. We're going in the Big 12. There's no reason that Arizona, it doesn't become the best fan base in the world, okay, and the best fan base in college basketball for sure. But we can't just say it. we got to do it. In order to do it, we got to connect with, the people that can drive us there. The fraternities, sororities, the student body, the local community, the corporation. So we're being mindful and we're trying to build as many relationships as we can to help, propel our program and continue to move it forward in changing times.
And with that being said, how do you think the schedule prepares you guys for the NCAA tournament? Because you got Duke coming down, you got the battle for Atlantis, and then you got Big 12 play. So it's going to be a grinder of a season. How do you think that gets you ready for the postseason?
Well, obviously the more tested you are, the better. And, at the end of the year, you're tested usually. And, and we've obviously never been afraid of playing a tough schedule. So, it's going to be awesome. We have a ton of respect for the Big 12 and the teams we're going to be competing against, but we're not going in there scared. It's Arizona basketball. We're going to go in there and we're going to throw our fastball. And, I'm sure it's going to get hit here and there, but I'm sure it's going to get past people as well. So, I'm excited for the challenge. It's nothing, we're not overthinking it. We're not, avoiding it. What we're doing right now is we're preparing our team like we always have. And, every off season, a lot of times the season before ends in disappointment, whether it's a Sweet 16 loss, a first round loss, not making a tournament. And then you roll your sleeves up and you find ways to get better. And our staff, we've definitely looked at ways to continue to increase our margin for error, ways to get better, ways to adapt to our personnel. Now we're trying to kind of, build back, some of the cornerstones of our program and how we play, add in some of these new things. And I love that process. I'm excited to see where it takes us.
And how important was it, or how cool is it to continue that rivalry with UCLA, even though it's in a non-conference setting?
I think it's great. I think it's really important. Fans, get emotional about these rivalry games, and we've enjoyed playing UCLA. Mick Cronin's a great coach, and I know this: when you play against him, it's going to be a dogfight. And, they're going to be prepared. They're going to be physical. They're going to be focused on, things that drive winning. So it's an incredible challenge. So for us to be able to continue that in the non-conference, I think was something that was really important. And I'm thankful that Mick was a great partner in helping us make it happen.
I got a question from the only man that can wear a white belt with white pants, white loafers, no socks, and a 69 Arizona jersey and make it look good. Paul Volpe. Coach, he wants to know, how do you prioritize recruiting incoming freshmen versus using the transfer portal?
That's a great question. And, not that Paul Volpe wouldn't have a great question. I tell Paul, I'm more interested in what these interest rates are currently looking like. So kind of get back to his task at hand. So I would say this, our first couple of years here, we felt like we were kind of in a situation where, we had to react. We had to react rather than respond. So, and which could be normal. We felt like we made pretty good reactions and we built really good, strong teams and we performed at a high level. Now, a couple things are happening. The COVID eligibility is coming to an end. This is kind of the last big year of those kids are getting the extra year. So they're going to kind of be phased out. So, college sports is going to go back to what we kind of remembered as we have 5 years to play for. You add that, then you add the transfer portal where kids maybe are less likely to redshirt now or not going to transfer when they redshirt. I think college basketball is going to go back to being younger. So I think for us, we're going to have to capitalize with, what Arizona can do. We can get great high school recruiting classes and really focus on that and then supplement our roster with transfers where we feel like we need to fill in gaps. And, I think we were counting a couple of days ago. I think we've taken 8 transfers in 3 years. So one thing we've been fortunate with, we've always had a good foundation coming back, like 3 or 4 players we really felt like that would be kind of, mainstays in our rotation. We were able to add a couple of transfers that all kind of had success and contributed. So, and then add high school guys or two, like Carter Bryant. Carter Bryant's a big time recruit. He's a McDonald's All-American. And so I know he's going to contribute to this team this year. So, it's always a little bit of a mix, but I definitely would see trending forward. Maybe, you'll see maybe Arizona basketball going back to, recruiting a few more high school kids than maybe we did the past couple of years.
Tommy, I got to ask you, since you came on the scene here in Arizona, one of the hallmarks of your teams is the guys seem to really love each other and be together. And I'm wondering, when you have transfer portal guys, some freshmen coming in, and then you got some core guys coming back, what is the secret to your success to get these guys to be so together? And it seems like they're always rooting for each other more than they're rooting for their own success.
Wow, Ollie, I should take you on the road with me. I mean, that's, you're speaking our language. One of the core tenets of our program is love. And, we talk about, loving each other, loving competing, loving basketball. And, Ollie, that was so big. He mic dropped on that, right? Did he right there? I don't know where Ollie is anymore, but we make sure guys feel like they belong when they come in our program, and then they're loved. And love doesn't need to be anything cheesy. And there's maybe not the love you have for your parents or your family. And it's a love you have for your friends and your team and your organization that you're trying to be successful with. So that's something we talk about every day, and we want to make sure people feel like they're a part of it.
Tommy, you brought up your foundation, the 3 or 4 guys that you have coming back. Some of those guys, Caleb Love, you also have Jaden Bradley and KJ Lewis. Can you just talk to us about the chemistry that those guys have and what they're going to bring?
Yeah, in this day and age, if you have, 3 guards that were, significant parts of your rotation, and they all 3 come back for the next year, maybe 10 years ago you equate it to having 4 seniors. I mean, you feel like you got continuity in your program, and definitely in their second year. I mean, I understand them better. They know me better, and we're able to kind of take those next steps and building our relationships and taking our next steps in playing. They have more reps under the way we want to play. So I look at it as an extreme positive, and it's something that I really value.
That is Arizona joining Spears and Ali on ESPN Tucson, 1490 AM, 94.9 HD, Channel 4, and the Spears and Ali podcast. We got the Arizona basketball red-blue game coming up on October 4th. Get your tickets today. Tommy, sorry for the technical difficulties there towards the end. We appreciate your time.
No problem, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Tommy.
Thank you.